This video is brought to you by CoolStuffInc.com, where you can find cool stuff in stock.
Hello and welcome back to another day in the arena. It's me, it's CGB, and today in the arena we are playing Blue-White Blink. Now I know that many people hate Agent of Treachery. I don't. I actually enjoy this type of gameplay, and before you say that makes me a bad person, I'm actually a really good person. Most people would like to be my friend. I'm a pretty nice guy. I'm a pretty good person to hang out with. I care about others. I think about things, but man, when I play video games, I have this weird thing. I understand it's a video game, and I get to do the things that in real life would bring much scorn and disgrace to my family. So, be evil. Besides, this Blue-White Blink deck, quite honestly, wasn't the most evil deck in the meta last season, and it very much is fair, to be honest. It's a much fairer deck than the Luca Agent deck is. So I was curious if it can still see play, if this deck is still good with the Yorion Companion, and not that many other cards from the new set. Honestly, I think it's going to be a bit disadvantaged against the Luca deck, but hey, I get to play 4 Agent of Treacheries, I get to Blink Elite Guard Mage with Thassa, which is one of my favorite things to do. You know, Thassa and Agent, they were like BFFs. We were together forever until Luca came along, and Luca stole the Agent away from Thassa. It's kind of sad, and I'm trying to get them back together, because as much as you might hate it, at least this deck was spending 7 mana for an Agent of Treachery, unlike those new decks. So just something to think about. And, you know, on these extra videos, I'm going to do whatever I want. I'm going to play the decks I want to play, and it's honestly a place where I can go when the comments from the main channel just are too frustrating for me. The biggest thing that happens when you're YouTubing a lot and people have strong opinions about a deck or a card is you wake up saying, I really want to play this, but then you just dread the comments before you even record, and you sabotage yourself. Like, your video isn't as good because you're already dreading what people are going to say about it. And that's no way to live. So screw those people. I'm going to play some Agent stuff. Watch it if you want to. If you don't, there's no reason to unsubscribe. There'll be a new deck every day. Tomorrow will be a different deck. So threatening me with unsub because you don't like the deck I played today is a very silly thing that people do on a daily basis. As if they have power over me. You're all a bunch of Karens. You're all a bunch of wanting to speak to the manager. You're all lashing out. It's cute. Keep coming at me. Also, a quick announcement about the CGB Gaming channel. I've been getting comments over there to the extent of, do this, do that, play a game other than Magic. Somebody actually said that. That channel's for me to play whatever the heck I want to. So, like, between these members videos, this bonus content, Patreon bonus videos, and the CGB Gaming channel, those are my outlets. Do not give a crap what you think, and you can watch it if you want to. The success of the main channel is still a major goal, and I try to keep varying it up and make it lovely and delightful for you. But those channels, mine. I get to do what I want. All right, let's dive in, because what I want to do is steal some stuff, even if the other stealing deck is actually better. Let the nonsense begin. Two lands and a dream. Let's hope we can get there. We're up against Luris, who's going to probably come out fast and furious. All right, do I have solutions to endless Zenith flares to the face? I can gain a lot of life. Our opponent with a Valiant Rescuer on 2. Do we just set that back? I guess the Deputy of Detention is a pretty good solution since it takes out the tokens and blocks this, and we need to hit land, so let's kick it off with a Scry. Yeah, not a lot of time to cast an Omen. The Fox. What does this Fox say? Okay, sure. Opponent wants to make a 1/1 and make it end. Pump their 2/2. Alright. 3/3. They only get 1 token. You can only get 1 per turn. The Fox has some limitation. Alright, give me that. Let's reset that. Now we're going to be looking for land off the top to keep the thing going. We're still at 20. Lurrus comes straight down, because why not? Bouncing Lurrus isn't particularly effective. The opponent can replay it, so what I want to do actually is Elspeth Conquers Death it. If the opponent casts another 2/2 out of the graveyard in the meantime and gets that value, that's pretty negative. But I guess we can blow it up soon. They're not going to have many things for Elspeth Conquers Death to hit, so I really do want it to hit this. They get one free card from the graveyard. It's probably something I can time wipe anyway. Alright. Talk myself into Elite Guard Mage to try to hit land drops. Let the opponent have their Lurrus action. Try to hit them with Elspeth Conquers Death. Opponent replays a Valiant Rescuer. Gets back into the business of making little tokens. Maybe the deck needs like a Soul Guide Lantern, something to completely hose the Zenith Flare that we always know is coming. Alright, I think we'll use Brazen Borrower here on the Lurrus. Sure. Yep, look at them go. They just don't quit. Alright, let's go ahead and make the opponent recast that if they want to use it. Then Elspeth Conquers Death, then Time Wipe, then worry about getting our life total as high as possible. Okay, they're going to gain some life with Healer. We know how it ends though. Massive Zenith Flares. It's not fun. It's not pretty. So next turn is very likely that we want to time wipe to just get a good selection of stuff in the graveyard. Like we're bouncing the Deputy because we want the Fox to die. So then next turn we can get back a Guard Mage with Elspeth Conquers Death. It's pretty good. Okay, the opponent says aggro. What do you think they know? I don't know. I guess they just want damage. I guess they see time wipe coming, or they think they do. We don't have to do it. We have a Yorion, an Elspeth Conquers Death that can just make their stuff cost more for a little while longer if we're not in a hurry. Yorion, we just want more Guard Mages though. And the Deputy can clean up these tokens. Let's see if we draw a land. Actually, we'll have enough blockers for the tokens anyway, if we play Fibblethib Elite. So let's do it. We'll get back a Charming Prince and start the Orion lock, which the opponent I think will have to respect, which is we exile stuff every single turn. Alright, more borrowers, no land. At some point we start clocking them. I don't think now is that time. Every life point could matter. Okay, so they only cycled this one card, so they have a number of lands and some Zenith Flares. Alright. Let's just keep gaining life. I mean, I want the land, but I'm sure I'll find it anyway. If I keep gaining life, they're going to have a hard time. It's just one piece of the puzzle after another. Alright. Kill the tokens. Anything that would mess with me attacking? I don't think so. Let's start sending a message. We are not to be trifled with. No flare to the face this time. Maybe next time. Sacred Foundry go. Teferi. Well, that will make them play their flare now if they're going to play it. It also puts off Yorion for another turn. I feel like I should be Yorion. The opponent's up to 12. They could get to 15 and double flare. So I feel like Yorion's the play. We're getting into now or never territory for the opponent. Nom. Bouncing the deputy just resets it, so that's fine. I don't need to reset the one with the fox under it. All right, exile another creature. We'll target the Yorion to continue the loop so that we get to do this again and again and again. Oh, and we found Tail's End. I'm not sure if that will matter, but we might counter somebody's cycle, you know, for lulz. Zenith Flare me for 12, yep. Zenith Flare me for 12, yep. Discard a card. What to discard? Elspeth Conquers Death doesn't have much of a function here. Counter that. It gives us time. Alright, so these are going to be gone for our turn, but we do want the life. I don't necessarily need the card from Fibblethib. Let's keep attacking with something. There's the Borrower. Grab the blue. So we have Thassa, which can also blink stuff, but we're already doing the like endless blinky loops, so I don't know if it particularly helps. We might just want to play Brazen Borrowers and get the clock up. I think having a Teferi down is nice, so they don't mess with my turns.
This might be a bad idea.
Right. Bring them all back. Keep the Yorion move going so that we're gaining 9 life a turn. Try to outpace these flares. There's Agent, but Agent only takes land in the matchup. It's very disappointing. The time wipe can go. We're definitely not going to blow up all these creatures. The rope. Oh, ho, 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 we get the rope? Oh, I didn't even agent you. All I did was Yori and Elite Guard Mage loop you. It could be so much worse. The Jeskai cycling Zenith Flare your face deck, hitting me with ropes. Are they mad that they drew so many lands? You drew half your deck. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So if they run 20 lands, they drew half the land in their deck. They're perfectly on time. Their distribution is quality. They've got 2 more timeouts. We might be here a minute, guys. I'm sure the editor will cut it, though. The editor has got this. We're in the roping home stretch now, everybody. They're almost out of rope. Remember to like and subscribe. A good time to plug that. And the full rope scoop. All right, our Omen is going to try to fix our draw. That's the plan. We're up against Yorion. Could be a lot of things, but it's not going to be very fast. So hopefully Omen finds us some white sources, lets us go Charming Prince, Elite Guard Mage Thassa, and the opponent doesn't have Agent of Treachery. If all those things come together, we're fine. Oh boy, looks evil. Just going to play this now, since we need it so badly and we know what we're looking for. And that is white mana. Yeah! Quality. Alright, scry it up. I've got a bad feeling our opponent's going to steal our Thassa. Well, the lands are there, and they are the ones we need, so Nice. But a tail's end to keep the opponent from stealing my Thassa would be good. So this new Luca deck, it starts stealing your things on turn 5. And they're going into turn 3, so if we get a Thassa down, then the next turn, what happens? Would we rather play Elite Guard Mage? Then they have their turn 4, then my turn 5 as I play my Thassa. What I want, I guess, is for them to steal it and then I steal it back. But even then, I'm still a long ways away from having the right cards. Alright. I guess I need an untapped land to play Cavalier of Dawn, an untapped white source to blow up like their Luca, if that's what they have. They are sitting on open mana. A lot could happen. Uh-huh. Moment of the Sun. Ooh, let's see if they blocked here. They want to block the Prince twice. Because if they trade off, then they don't have a token. It means they don't have a Luca. If they don't have a Luca, then I should play the Guard Mage. But it is the deck we feared. The deck I'm not sure I can ever beat. It requires like the perfect combination of things.
I have practiced against many foes.
That's rude.
Open mind.
That makes my Guard Mage Thassa plan not very good. And they play a tap land. Ooh, we draw the Tail's End. Okay. That is something. I guess I do need more land, so let's attack the Narset. Hold our mana.
You could use some training.
I can blow up their fires with the Cavalier of Dawn. And I can Tail's End Luca, I guess? They're probably not going for Luca, though. Elspeth Conquers Death. Interesting. So we could Tail's End the trigger. Is that good? I guess that's pretty good. It does take down our defense, but I don't think they have a Luca because of the way that they blocked. Too bad it's not legendary. Alright, so do we bounce anything? We could bounce the Elspeth Conquers Death and make them play it again. It is expensive, but they have fires, so it's not like it's even taking them off a double spell. Alright, another white, another blue. Let's get another white. We have Cavalier of Dawn. Might be difficult to cast. Let's attack the Narset. I know the opponent will get it back soon. That's just kind of something we have to deal with. Let's play Yorion and get some more cards. The opponent has their Yorion, so they can blink their Elspeth Conquers Death to mess up our Yorion. It's all really messy. Alright, that's enough tap land. There's Fipples. Alright, there's an island. Now's the time when they start wrecking us. So probably Yorion. Exile my Yorion? No. Just double Elspeth Conquers Death? So rude. So freaking rude. Alright. Attack. Put a stop here for when this expires. We can bounce fires. Make them reuse their fires mana that way. Like Cavalier of Dawn. Well, this Elspeth Conquers Death. Just try to navigate those. If I get to untap with this stupid card, then I get to blink it with Thassa, which is what we need. I guess if the opponent goes for the Yorion, I could bounce that in response, but I don't like that. Yeah, we just got to set back the fires here. Make them use their mana that way, and hopefully they don't play Yorion. Usually you want to play Yorion on a time when you have a bunch of untapped mana to keep using Yorion. But yeah, we're about to be wrecked. They found Luca. They top decked it.
Dissenters are welcome to debate.
And I gave them the token. But what could I do? What could I really do, right?
Evolution provides a tactical advantage.
Oh, they go straight for the land. Okay. I get to flicker my Cav. I have a Brazen Borrower. The opponent might block here. What do I have to do? Well, I gotta get Luca. I can get Luca low enough with the Guard Mage. Then, what's coming back? Narset. Don't like that. We flicker the Cav. We blow up the Elspeth Conqueror's Death. They have another 3/3. But then Yorion's just coming down to wreck everything. But if they don't have Elspeth Conqueror's Death, we need to get rid of the Agent and the Elspeth Conqueror's Death. So we need to do it like this. I need the opponent to block to save the Luca for no reason. Because they want to get it back with Elspeth Conqueror's Death. Alright, they do. Cool. Yeah, not a big reason to try to save the Luca on who's going to be on 1 loyalty there, but they did. They did. Alright. Play Thassa. Blow up the Elspeth Conqueror's Death. We will have access to the Borrower. I guess we can shut down the Yorion is going to try to flicker the Luca, right? I guess we just bounce the fires again. Sure. Okay. Flicker. Congrats on your 3/3. Brazen Borrower can also bounce something if a Luca targets it. So like if the opponent plays another Luca, they're going to exile 3 cards. No agents.
I only bond with the strongest around me.
Shatter the Sky. That gets me back nothing. That is rough. But so be it. That's 1 spell. That's 2 spells. I guess I'm not using my mana. The opponent playing around a counter here of some kind. Alright, so now how do I get rid of Luca? I could bounce it, but I could just hold this and bounce the token when the opponent tries to use the Luca. Alright, Fipplefib. I've got a Thassa. There's a Brazen Borrower who wants to come out and play. I think it's this and Teferi, and then we have a mana left over. If we get to 3 mana left over, we can flash this in later. Alright, let's get lost, little guy. But man, that Yorion is just waiting to wreck us. It's so good already. It's not getting better. I should have a way to get my land back. I can return like everything else to my hand, but not land. It's so rude.
Trust me. You'll thank
Set
me
back
later.
the fires. Try to keep the open mana from being there.
I've got it.
And we do hit the land. You can't let Thassa get stolen, you guys. It's so risky. By the way, where's my agent? How about I draw agent? How about that? Come on, agent. Let's go. Right now. Maybe next turn. That's a big typhoon. But nothing we can't Brazen Borrow. But we need to make sure we don't get agented. So we do have to hold our borrowing for that. Deputy of Detention can take out the shark if we ever draw it. Fairy down. Feels bad, but he wasn't going to do much, to be honest. Luca goes for it. Petty theft the token in response, so that's gonna fizzle. Staying alive. Staying alive. Then the opponent plays it from hand anyway, right? Okay, it's a land. Please no agents. Please no agents. Just let me get to the agent first. If I get to the agent first, we're going to be okay. Okay. Whoa. Alright. Again, that's a sign that they don't have it. Their last card's probably a land. They'd almost want to play anything else. It might be a shatter. That's the other card that stands out as a thing that could be. Try to and draw. One to the top. It's either an agent or a Luca. You can guarantee it. So how do we get there? Well, I think it starts with we've got to draw the right card. Tails End to give us one more turn here. Fairy. I mean, we can take out the shark. And we can hit our land drop. But that doesn't give us the Tails End. There's a few things we could pull off here, but it's not looking very likely.
Sorry I'm late.
Alright, so Thassa's all powered up now.
I've got time.
Ugh. Man. Do I play this Fipplethib? I'm kind of feeling like... I'm feeling like I need to flicker this and draw into Tails End. And that's like the only way I'll still be in this game next turn. So I guess I don't play Fipplethib. But if there's a land on top of my deck, which is more likely than a Tails End, then I draw that land, and then I flicker into Tails End. No. Never make the higher odds play, darn it. Besides, trying to find two things that are perfect as opposed to one is always harder. We're gonna lose to our own castle. Just gonna let them stack their deck with Agent of Treachery. We had some windows here, I think, where we were in this game, but we did not find the right cards. Like, we did not draw our own agent at any point. Pretty brutal. 3 Thassa, no agent. Heckle, no Jekyll. They're like, oh, well, now they're tapped out. Yeah, I didn't have anything, and they were going to go for it anyway, because bluffing never works on ladder, unfortunately.
Mind and body.
I mean, I can hope they kept an Arset.
Just the trick for this.
I would have scryed first, and they whiff. What are they keeping? Okay. Steal the Thassa. Yep. Game over, man. Game over. I guess we get one draw to draw our own, we get one draw here for our own agent, right? Brutal. Yeah, that's enough. Yeah, your deck is cooler than me. Karuga, what's Tails End do against it? I guess you can copy a Cavalier of Flame ETB trigger. Don't have a lot of legendary spells. Whatever. It's fine. This is fine. I might actually need a triple white for a Cavalier, so I should hold on to this until the last possible minute. I was going to like play it and crack it on turn 1, but there's a reason not to, so we won't. Two Tails Ends. Not in this matchup. Not like this. Who's stacking my deck in the worst possible way? Alright, let's get there to Fairy. Or their Narset. I like seeing that it's the version with Narset. Uh-huh. Double Tails End actually works out. Lucky me. So do we play the Prince and try to find another one? We could. But I think getting the Guard Mage down is just the best thing to be doing, because then we can flicker it with the Prince next turn. It lets the shields down a bit, but we need to march straight into Agent territory and stay alive long enough to get there. Well, that's one way to do it. Some hateful stuff. And a Boon of the Wishgiver. Our opponent's deck is a little different from the fires I'm used to. Alright. I'm just going to gain the 3. There's not a lot I want on top, and the Omen's kind of going to dig me through it anyway. So unless there's a super unlikely situation of like 5 lands on top of my deck, we're just fine. The opponent is basically being a control deck. Their Jeskai control with Karuga, maybe? It's weird.
I know 88 ways to defeat you.
That card messes up some of my Yorion shenanigans. And they find another Narset, their 3rd of the game. There's a Thassa and a Fipplethip. I want both of these, but not until after I deal with this frickin' Narset. Alright, so we put you out there. And we put you out there. And now we want an untapped land near the top. Elspeth Conquers Death is really good, though. I don't know if Brazen Borrower is any good. I'll keep you. Remember, drawing cards won't work because of the Narset. We're in that 1 card per turn limbo.
Hone your prowess.
Brazen Borrower could have turned on the Thassa, but so can Yorion. So can Yorion. Yorion Fipplethib, that is. Which Fipplethib doesn't draw a card, so that's an awkward play. They find Teferi. Teferi bounces Thassa? Probably. But let's see. Oh, saucy. Well, we've got the Yorion Flicker on our Elspeth Conquers Death. Do we try to draw land here? I don't think so. Too risky. Yeah.
I was not prepared for this.
The opponent will want to play another Narset because they want to keep us from having an epic flicker turn.
Thoughtfulness before action.
And they find a Shark Typhoon. Okay. And they have a Bone Crusher for the Prince. The beat goes on. So, do we Yorion here? I could also try to draw a land. I could also like take their Narset with my Deputy and then draw a land with maybe with Fipplethib. What's in the graveyard? Elite Guard Mage. I think it's a good Yorion turn. Bye bye, Narset.
I won't forget our time together.
And we do need the land. And I don't think I ever need another Omen now that I've used my Yorion. We'll see if I end up being wrong about that. The Bone Crushers, 2 of them. How nice. Why are there no counters here? So, Agent can come down. It's pretty gross. Yeah. Let's just start stealing land. Encourage the opponent to attack with their Bone Crusher Giants, so that our Agent of Treachery goes to the graveyard and we get it back with Elspeth Conquers Death. Taking the blue source takes them off the Karuga. It's a double blue card. They're doing it. Is that because they see the Elspeth Conquers Death coming, or they plan to bounce it? Maybe they drew another Elspeth Conquers Death. 5 mana to Fairy. That's right, they do have the Elspeth Conquers Death tax this turn. So another ECD wouldn't do it. Oof. Bouncing Elspeth Conquers Death, you guys. So sad. Let's draw first, see what we find. I know that I could Deputy the Bone Crusher Giants, sort of hoping to do things differently. I'd like to Deputy something that doesn't come back. So let's go ahead and use Elspeth Conquers Death on a Bone Crusher. Let's attack down the Teferi. Let's play the Charming Prince and flicker the Yorion. Oh yeah. Disgusting. Disgusting. All that will come back at the end of this turn that the opponent is taking. If my Yorion's still alive, we can repeat the cycle. Which... Oof. Ouchie. When you know the opponent has an Elspeth Conquers Death coming back, what do you play? You play Elspeth Conquers Death. Alright. Opponent not willing to call it a game just yet. Alright, so who wants to go? Let's take the Elspeth Conquers Death. Let's exile the Fipplethib so we get another card in a minute here. Thassa. And Thassa's pretty good, and we hit a land drop. These are fine. That was all at the end of the opponent's turn. Now we even get to take a turn after that. Here's Thassa. We'll go ahead and scry, see what the future holds. Is the opponent taking us to Rope Town? Or did they have to go get a drink? Oh, they're back. I saw a flicker. Maybe they did go use the bathroom or something. All right. Deputy. Grab the fires. Attack with the prince. Flicker the prince. Resolve the prince thing first. Card. Guard mage. Exile another thingy. Get another card. When the lost Fipplethib returns. Oh, the opponent did get through the Agent and the Yorion, which is hard to do. So respect. Much respect. We'll see if they can keep it going. Shatter the Sky. They get to draw a card and they get back their fires. Okay. They are not tapping it out. Fibblethib returns. Draw a card. Elspeth Conquers Death goes off. Agent of Treachery. And now it's Agent combined with Thassa. So wrecked. I don't think we need the fires here. We can deputy those. We can take the Karuga. Let's try to kill the opponent. There's some menacing sounding music. Rightfully so. I mean, Agent's good and all, but this one returns to play under my control. Oh, glorious. I don't know what's better, stealing a permanent or a draw for. I think the real answer is a free draw for compared to a free steal, especially when that steal is a land. That is called debating something that's truly just win more. Just shut up, CGB. You have enough things. Kung Fu Narset.
Honor the past by bringing its traditions into the future. Think, then act.
Discard Shark Typhoon. 6 damage. Get back the Deputy. One more spell. Make it a good one. It might be another Shatter after all. Teferi. Well, just gonna play my Borrower then. Should be more than lethal, but the opponent's a fighter. You gotta give them that.
I am not making this up.
They are a fighter. And a good sport. Credit where it's due. Bang bang. It's a very slow hand that we have here. And our opponent's on Yorion, well, then their deck is slow. And we get a chance. All the same. Let's look for an untapped land. Got it. Sweet. Super awkward turn coming up. Do we hold up Tail's End for their Teferi and their Narset? I don't think so. I think it's more important that we have this later, but if they have a Teferi, we're just toast. It's been that kind of gaming experience lately.
I know my responsibility. Let's try this.
All right, same stuff. Same stuff, different day. You gonna bounce that Omen? Okay.
That's more like it.
All right. Well, we could double bounce the tokens so that we don't get Luca'd. I think we at least start there.
Trust me, I have a plan.
The opponent plays them again.
If you show remorse, I'll show restraint. Here we go.
But, you know, can't beat Teferi.
Oh, I've done the hero thing before.
Elspeth conquers death for my Teferi. Yeah.
A matter of
Going
time.
second sucks, everybody. Don't do it. Avoid it. Alright. So what do? We blow up the fires or the Elspeth conquers death. They get a 3/3, and they get to immediately use it with a Luca if they have it. I guess it has to be their Teferi, and I hope to buy a turn. No, it has to be Elspeth conquers death, otherwise they did just Yorion flicker. But yeah, against the forces of evil like this, there is no victory. Well, their Teferi could die. If they throw away their Teferi, my Tail's End isn't a total joke.
I'll protect you.
Do they have another one?
The past, present, and future are bound by
Narset.
threads of time. Keep an open mind.
I try Narset. It's really hard sometimes. That can't be what they were looking for. Okay. Well, their turn is kind of poopy. And we do get to hold up Tail's End. Do I play the... I think I play the Charming Prince just to have a battlefield presence, but it is sort of like, well... If I hold it, it could work out, but it's good with the Yorion. It's kind of a threat on its own. And we are getting attacked for 5. So let's scry. Brazen Borrower and Elite Guard Mage. Are any of these actually good? We get to draw one of these next turn with the Omen. I guess borrowing their fires might be an effective play. And we're almost to an agent. If they go for a Teferi, I might just borrow on their fires so that they have to recast it or something. That's not terrible. All right. We'll see. Oh, we could also borrow her on their Luca. They sacrifice their Omen. They want that scry. We could borrow whatever they target with a Luca, for example. Save the Tail's End for the Yorion. Let's see what happens. It's a big turn.
I have just the trick.
If they find 2 amazing cards to play against me, I'm in trouble. Okay, that's nice. If they only have 1... I think we've got a pretty good shot. Because then Agent comes down. And then Yorion flickers the Agent. Agent steals fires. Yep, this is fine. You gonna tell me I have a shot against this deck? Maybe? A little? Just a little? Yep, that's fine with me. I'll take that damage. Alright, still one more spell. It's an Omen. That doesn't scare me. It just doesn't do it for me. So what do? We get the Brazen Borrower with the Omen of the Sea here if we want it. We could bounce that 3/3. And then we steal fires. And then what do? Yorion? Steal fires, Yorion. Sounds pretty good. Teferi. What do? I mean, it's just a good card to have, right? I can't double Omen here just because of the Narset. It won't let me draw the card. But we may as well get this Brazen Borrower used. They must have Agent of Treachery in their hand, right? And probably Elspeth Conquers Death. I still think that we go for the highest impact play, though. Which is Agent of Treachery. Fires of Invention. Another Scry coming up here. Then we play Yorion. We flicker these 3 permanents. Let's manually stack the thingamajig so I can only blame myself when triggered abilities come on. Alright. Flickering this won't do any good because of the Narset unless I steal the Narset. But I think I need to steal the land. Ooh, do they have a counter? That'd be so slick if they like just randomly ran Mystical Dispute here. Aether Gust. Okay, and they put it back on top of their own library, sure. And then the opponent scoops. So when these come back, we're stealing land, and we're flickering the Agent or the Yorion. Probably the Agent, though, because if we flicker the Yorion, there's a chance the opponent sweeps the board with a Clarion or a Shatter. It comes back and doesn't do anything. So we're flickering the Agent again. We're stealing land, then we're stealing other land to try to keep them from playing their own Agent of Treachery. And if they have an Elspeth Conquers Death for the Yorion, the Agent can come back and steal the Elspeth Conquers Death. And we are back. You didn't get to see most of the bad games with this deck because they weren't interesting. It just, nothing happened. But this is definitely a worse version of the Blink deck. The Agent Blink deck than the Luca deck. Tail's End has its moments. When it counters Teferi, it's great. When it doesn't counter Teferi, or Teferi comes first and you counter it and then they agent you, it's very, very bad. And the opponent can definitely play around the Tail's End Yorion trigger thing that is so glorious when you counter the trigger of all the things from the Yorion re-entering the battlefield. That feels great, but people just play around it and you have no chance. And Brazen Borrow is just kind of medium. So this deck is meh. I give it a capital meh, you know, whatever that means. I think if I were going to play it some more, what is that, 26? Are we on 26 land yet? 24, went too low. So if I were going to play the land, this deck some more, I'm going to show you how I would do it. I'm going to try to show you how I would do it. I would take away the 80 card pile because this deck doesn't draw the key pieces nearly often enough that it needs. So I would strip back the 80 card pile and I would try to be a more efficient version of the Blink deck, but I would do some kind of fun stuff. I don't think I'd run Time Wipe anymore. And this didn't really hold up. And these you just never found the spot for them. Maybe it's more like a one of, I don't know. But I would just run the Yorions. Remember how Lumbering Battlement? Remember the beautiful Lumbering Battlement deck that I played? Just make it like that. We'll just run the Yorions in the main deck. Get it done that way. I guess that will have to do. Then we have a 60 card deck with no companion, which is kind of like conceding the game in the current standard. But dang it, we're going to do it anyway. Yeah, this is how I'll do it in the future. Just try to be a much slimmer deck and be more consistent on those 80 card piles. And if they god draw you, so sad, but that's the way it goes. This deck also has almost no removal in current form, but since there's no aggro anymore, maybe that's fine. All right, so that's the way I do it from here on, but generally I don't really recommend this. If you like stealing things with Agent of Treachery, play the Luca version. All right, thank you for watching this video. Thank you very much to the supporters of the channel, and I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.